Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and this is How Pros Smurf Episode 3 featuring Waga. Before I start, I do not endorse smurfing as a means to get monetary benefit. There are many reasons as to why people smurf, and Waga's is more than justifiable. His income depends on playing games, and that's not possible in the current state of things in his main account. This account is eventually going to reach his MMR, and it's going to be fine. I mean, he can't do anything if Valve changed the limit of the MMR you can actually calibrate to. For instance, what's the difference of a 5k player that stopped playing the game for 1 year and then came back and decides that he wants to play ranked to get back into form faster? In a way, he is smurfing. That's definitely not his current MMR and there is no fix to it. This is all to say that smurfing is not inherently bad, and as long as you don't plan on profiting with it, I completely understand people that do it. He is playing Keeper of the Light offlane in this game as a core in a dual lane with Undyne. Before we start talking about the juicy stuff, look at Radiant's team, then look at Waga's team. Do you know how much time this game lasted? More than 50 minutes, and Dire was able to win. Even though it's undeniable that Radiant team has way more late game. As I said in other videos, the enemy cores in late game is as strong as their MMR increases. Yes, Waga is 7k MMR, but what's important to understand watching this game is that people are influenced way too much about these circle jerk notions of late game, early game, yada yada. This is not TA7, okay? These are a bunch of people playing ranked games and they don't have a lot of synergy between themselves. This is one of the reasons that Waga is able to win. But anyways, let's take a look in the laning phase. Look how Undyne and KOTL start bonding from the start to increase their chances of winning the lane. This dance play alone influences this clip right here. There's an aura of fear coming from both Dire heroes, and instead of acquiring early dominance in the lane, Ogre and Terror play very passive. It's fine to be afraid of an Undyne at level 1, but Ogre and Terror is a very legit lane, especially since he learned Metamorphosis at level 1. The right play from Radiant should be waiting to see that Undyne committed 1 decay and then go straight away with Ignite and Meta when Terror was full HP, since decay actually has a pretty big cooldown at level 1. Instead, they just keep taking random harass, then he starts using Meta to farm and he dies. This death alone gives KOTL boots, Terror now has 0 aggressive potential without Meta, and Ogre can't really harass Waga anymore because of the move speed difference. Pay attention to Waga's Illuminates. A lot of KOTLs are okay with getting less hits and forcing the carry out of the creep wave equilibrium spot, but Waga almost always goes for the trees to maximize his damage tenfold. When he doesn't, look at the results, way more underwhelming. And this is dumb as fuck. Yet, at 4k, even 5k, KOTL sometimes forget that they could be dealing way more damage by positioning themselves in the fog when casting Illuminate. When the creep wave is at the tower again, what can Terror do? He already spent salvas, doesn't have anything, Ogre can't chase KOTL anymore, and GG. And this is exactly what happens actually. Terror Blade is forced to jungle while Ogre tries to get what little he can. Even during the laning phase, look how Waga is not so preoccupied with less hits and instead keeps focusing Ogre. And this was actually something that we saw in that other game that he played in the offlane. He's already having a huge game and he knows his hero can farm the jungle later. Losing 2 or 3 CS but destroying Radiant's game is worth way more. When he clearly won the lane, he starts not farming only the lane creeps but the camps close to him. That combined with the arcane boots that he bought is going to ramp up his farm a lot in the mid game. Not only it's good for farming, but he can give Undyne fighting potential without hindering his own farm, because then he would be forced to cast Chakra Magic on the zombie. He is a core in this game. KOTL already has pretty decent move speed, while on top of that, Waga gets the move speed talent, and by giving mana to Cats the Musical, he can even heal Waga if he needs to, so the Tranquil Boots are not very necessary, especially when he won the lane so hard. When people try to be greedy, their first movement is to go deep into their jungle, farm, make stacks, and all that, but not Waga. He farms that bottom lane until the limit, while he farms the enemy jungle first, and then he goes back to his own jungle. So not only his rotations are smooth and make good use of his time, he's also focusing in taking farm away from the enemies first. Also, pay attention how he uses Chakra Magic very well. He farms the ogres with double Illuminate, and then when he casts Chakra Magic again, he makes sure to Illuminate before the buff ends, giving him an instant Illuminate right away. When he TPs top, he keeps using those fog Illuminates to deal massive damage. He keeps on farming farming through his jungle towards the bounty room, and we can notice another very particular aspect of Waga's greedy playing. He's fine farming the jungle, not buying wards and all the jazz, but what he always makes time for is TPing in towers to defend them. Why, you might ask? Well, first of all, this is one of KOTL's biggest strengths. He is very good at anti-push, and when he TPs in to defend, he's actually farming a lot. But the ability to farm the map and the ability to keep playing greedy depends on having map control, and defending those towers is very important because of that. Let's take a look in the team fights he's in. He TPs in the top lane again to keep defending the tower. First, look at the 2 spots he casts Illuminate, always in the fog. You may feel like Void needs medical care here, but the only reason Waga can see him is the Illuminate vision. Void has no vision of him. He lands this skill on everyone. In this other mid fight, Waga has eggs now, and look how much work he does. He stays very far back, dodges another Chronosphere, places a preemptive Illuminate, but the real impressive part is now he actually used Chakra Magic to cast another one, so he deals massive amounts of damage in the fight. When he gets ruptured, Blinding Light saves everyone while also knocking the Mana Leak target he used first. He buys enough time for Rupture to be over. Illuminate keeps making a lot of work. Look how he placed the skill towards the direction they are running away. It's just very impressive.
Oh shit.
He holds the tower by himself, and look how he baits Tinker. He has Magic Wand, places another Illuminate towards the direction he wants to run away, and uses Tinker blinking in to have range to cast Mana Leak and get the kill.
Oh, he died.
Another very important part is almost never going back to base. It's daytime, he has mana regen, HP regen now with Illuminate, and this is another reason of not going Tranquils, right? Because he's going to farm a very early eggs because of that laning phase and playing greedy, so he really shouldn't be going back to base, or else he's doing something wrong. Look how he damaged both camps at once while healing himself. He does the same in the medium camp, farming the small camp at the same time. So if you pay attention to the net worth charts, during this entire game, Waga was almost top 4 net worth even though he was playing KOTL. This is what I mean when I say that it doesn't matter if the enemy team has 4 cores, but they are significantly lower MMR than you. Waga shouldn't be allowed to farm like that, and his team should be seeking more farm as well, which wouldn't allow him to farm so much. Another important aspect of Waga is communicating with his team. He always writes what he thinks is relevant. And this is not only in this game. Fighting at nighttime when you have eggs is terrible. The difference in impact that you can have is ridiculous, and I like that he writes that. It's also very cool that he goes for Aetherlands. It synergizes very well with him going Arcanes first, and at the same time, cast range is huge on KOTL, especially when you're playing against Tinker. Not only Mana Leak, but Blinding Light as well. Let's not forget about KOTL's level 25 talent that gives extra 400 range. I talked a lot about using Chakra Magic to farm twice, but a lot of people forget that you can do it to Blinding Light twice or even Mana Leak twice. As he chases Void in this clip, he ends up using Mana Leak in the wrong target, but since he knows he has a huge cast range and it's daytime, he keeps chasing. Double Mana Leak allows his team to get there earlier, and that means easy Void takedown.
Ice Path him, now or never. Yeah.
Waga just keeps using the 4K's lack of malice to get kills. His team is still far away from the tier 1 tower, but since it's daytime, Void is still dead, he rushes towards the tier 1 tower, finds Ogre, and keeps abusing Blinding Light to get kills. See how he uses Chakra Magic before committing Mana Leak? That little play guarantees the Tinker kill, and they just snowball out of that. Playing aggressive at daytime and playing low-key at nighttime is the key to winning a game against so many cores like this one. Let's talk a little bit about late game impact. Waga is playing like a core in this game. This means that he needs to go very effective items, especially when they don't have heroes that are so strong in the late game. Side of Ice is great for controlling Tinker. He even wanted to go for the item. The 400 range talent is great with it, but it's also great with Dagon. Dire's team has some late game damage problems and he decided to go for it. When this fight starts, look how he deals with Tinker. First of all, he goes in with Chakra Magic already cast. Second of all, he mana leaks Tinker, and to completely burn his mana, he combos Blinding Light and his Force Staff. He still has another mana leak just in case. This means that he has the means to deal with Tinker without sight, especially because Tinker is a hero that rarely goes for BKB. At level 25, we can see how ridiculous KOTL is. Waga and his team defend their mid barracks, and with smoke, he knows he has more move speed than Void. He ends up fighting Void in the secret shop. This in itself is a key indicator of that skill bracket. He felt he was safe there when that was hardly the case. As they keep pushing the lane, look how Waga is farming while their creep wave gets there. A lot of people in a situation like this would be standing close to the tower waiting for the creeps, while Waga understand that there's no way they can push right now and it's going to take a while, so better to increase his effectiveness and his farm. Anyways, the key play happens here. Tinker is trying to hold the siege. He commits Blinding Light with mana leak, but the ridiculously retarded range of Force Staff with that talent and Aetherlands guarantees the final stun, and that's game since Tinker had no buyback.
That range, man. Range. Go a mi que tutos. No tengo.
It was all about keeping a cool mind, understanding that 4 cores are scary in the late game, but KOTL isn't as bad at level 25 and in the late game in general than he was. The talents are very big. It's not like he wasn't legit at level 25 in the late game before, but these talents allow good players to win games even more easily than it was before, at least in my opinion. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys give it a thumbs up. If you want to see the extended version of this video, check the link in the description. Pugna is a platform where you can learn from people like Chessie, Fog, Monib and get better at the game. They have now great content on the new patch, and if you want to raise your MMR, it's a great time. Just figure out the patch faster than others and get those easy wins. And if winning MMR is not enough for you, you should definitely check Loot Case. There you can find and win fabulous cosmetics and go from zero to hero.